Bookish friends. I'm Berna from Turkey, and I'm here to do the booktube newbie tag. Since I'm a new channel, Berna's Bookish Adventures, and I think this will be my second video that I will upload in YouTube. So I think it was convenient that I do this tag, this booktube newbie tag, so that you can find more about me. The first question is, why did you start this channel? I started watching booktube like about 2.5 years, and I really do like booktube. I watch it all the time when I'm getting ready for work in the mornings, and it makes me feel like, wow, I need to read more books. And I read so many books last year for me. I read 80 books, which was a real record for me. And so far I have read 53 books in this year. And it is really amazing how I can do that. And it's all happened because I have been watching booktube for like so many years. And I wanted to join this lovely community because I have so many good friends. And one of them, Krista from BooksAndJams, came to Izmir last month. We met, we talked about books and all the lovely things that the booktube gave us, and she said, Berna, why don't you do a channel for yourself? And I was like, I don't know if I should do it, in Turkish, if I should do it in English. And I talked to my best friend Ebru. She said, Berna, you should do it. You like talking about books. You love books. Why don't you do it? Just do it, she said. And I want to thank them both, Krista and Ebru. You're so good to me. That's why I started this channel. Question 2. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to the booktube community? I don't know if it will be fun or unique because, maybe I'm not really sure if there is anybody who's doing English videos from Turkey. I know some people who are doing Turkish videos and mostly doing the Turkish authors. I read them, but I mostly read in English. So I decided to do a unique thing. Maybe that's the unique thing that I will bring to YouTube, to be a Turkish reader who's reading English books in YouTube. So that might be the thing. And I also want to do a book to movie adaptation series in the recent videos, because I love books and I love watching movies and TV series adapted from books, and I have so many ideas about them, how they should do it and how they should do it. Maybe you will find me a bit, oh, what an arrogant girl, and maybe you will say, oh, that's what I thought too. Who knows? We'll see. What are you most excited about starting this channel? Well, I'm very excited to meet new people because, meeting bookish friends who are related to books, who loves books. It is so rare to talk about books that I'm reading. I am a very fortunate person. I come from a family who reads all the time, but we read different types of books and we talk about books all the time as well. But sometimes you just want to talk about the books that you read and discuss how you feel about it with other people who have read the same book. And I have had this experience with, joining a book club. I have a book club in Izmir, Turkey, who are also lovely people, who are readers like me. But the English books, many people do not read English books. So that will be that I'm most excited about, meeting new people, getting new book recommendations, and I don't know, I like it. I like to be social about books. Why do you love reading? This is a so different question for me because I love reading, and I have never thought why I love reading, because it's the thing. I love reading. I have always read. Even when I did not know how to read. I always looked at the picture books, that comic books, picture books that my older brother was reading, and I learned reading without going to school, because that's my thing. I think that's my jam. Question 5. What book or series got you into reading? When I was a little girl, I liked reading Pollyanna. That's what we call in Turkish. I think it's Pollyanna in English. I'm not really sure. And then after I started middle school, I started reading Agatha Christie and Nancy Drew books, and I still adore detective books. And Agatha Christie, I think, is my most read author so far. I think she's a genius for writing about social aspects into a mystery. Question 6. What question would you ask your favorite booktubers? I've already asked Krista about how to edit videos, so I won't ask how you edit your videos, because that was my first concern about this video thing, because I'm not a native speaker, so I would have many faults in the first time, so I need to edit them. But I need to edit them without being like, cut, and then put. So I need to find a smoother way to edit them. And I'm still learning them, of course. My question to my favorite booktubers would be, how do you find time with taking care of your children and doing these videos, editing them, and reading so many books than myself? I even thought, how would I find time? Then I thought, Berna, you have time. Please, you don't have children, you're single, so you have time. So do not complain. But I really admire those who have children and do these videos. Question 7. What challenge of starting YouTube channel would be hardest to overcome? I talked about that in the last question, I think, because being a non-native English speaker, it would be hard for me to talk in front of a camera. Fortunately, I have talked in front of an audience, so I do not feel shy about talking in English, but talking to a camera is different, because so I think that will be my hardest difficulty that I had to overcome. Number 8. When did you start reading? Oh, I think I have answered that question before as well. So I started reading when I was even before I went to school, so I should say like when I was 5. I started reading when I was 5. Oh, so many years. And I have been reading for so many years. But I gave a break when I was studying in the university. I'm an architect, and architecture is really a hard education. It takes so much time, and it takes so many efforts, and your eyes get tired. So I took a break from reading when I was in the university. Then I discovered maybe Vinci books, and it kickstarted my love for reading again. Number 9. Where do you read? I mostly read during my commute to work, but I also read at home as well before going to bed. But majority of my time is spent reading in the train. I took metro train and then bus to work, so it takes about an hour to go, an hour to come back. I read in the mornings. I definitely read in the mornings, and I mostly read when I'm coming back to home, but it's not a definite plus. So the last question is, what kind of books do you like to read? As I have mentioned before, I love reading mystery books and historical fiction books. I also read romance, classics, and thrillers. I'm not a big fan of horror books. I recently started reading fantasy and I loved fantasy. So I think I read a wide variety of books. I'm not into contemporary YA. I like fantasy YA books in fantasy only. I have discovered that because I know I don't really enjoy reading young adult contemporary novels. So I mean, I read a lot. That's the thing about it. And yes, I recently started reading middle grade as well, and I have read Wonder, Body Read Wonder with Sarah from Sarah's Nightstand, and it was one of the best books that I have read so far this year. So I think I will read more middle grade from now on. So that was my book Newbie tag. Thank you for listening to me and watching my video. Thank you for watching my video. I really do. It's really hard. It was really hard to do this video at first, but I wanted to start with a harder video where I talk about myself so that I can manage the easier ones better. Thank you all for watching.